dreams come alive, you're unstoppable. Take a shot, chase the sun, find the beautiful. We will go in the...
I am Colleen and welcome to my channel. If it is your first time, please consider subscribing and turn on your notification bell so whenever I post, you get notifications. And for everyone who has been supporting, thank you so much. Just a reminder, ensure that you leave comments, whether positive or negative. Feedback is very important to me. Now, in today's video, I'll be talking about 5 things that you should not put on a resume. Now, this is very important, especially for newcomers to Canada, persons who are even outside of Canada and looking for a job. Maybe you're looking for a job in a company that offers a sponsorship, so that once you get a job offer, you can apply for your work permit and you can come here. So ensure that you listen to this video to the end. But before I get into the 5 things that you absolutely should not put on your resume, I'm going to talk quickly within a minute of what your resume really is. So we call it curriculum vitae, all different kind of things. But pretty much your resume is a snapshot of your skills, your attributes, whatever expertise, the qualifications that you bring for a certain position or various positions. Now, why I say certain positions is because typically what you should be doing when you're applying to jobs is that you update your resume so that it actually speaks to the specific job that you're applying to. Having a general resume normally only goes if you are not aware of job offers within a company. You're interested in a company, they don't have any postings on their website or their social media platforms, and you're pretty much just sending a general resume to say, hey, I'm interested. Have a look at my resume, and if there are any possible openings that are suited according to what I'm showing on the resume, I'm interested. So the important thing is that you ensure that whatever you're putting on your resume, it speaks to your top skills and attributes, and it highlights your educational accomplishments and accomplishments that you've achieved from your jobs, the titles you've held. Don't only just write out duties on your resumes. Ensure that your resume speaks definitely to the things that you've accomplished in a job. Good. Now, the first thing you should not put on your resume is a photograph of yourself. No matter how fancy, cute, good looking you are, leave that out. And many of us come from many different countries as immigrants all over the world. And I personally have seen that South Asian countries, persons in the South Asian countries, they normally put a photograph on their resume, as well as some people in different Caribbean nations and all around the world. But when you come to Canada, or if you're outside of Canada applying for a job, this is something you should definitely remove. It is not needed. It's not a practice within Canada. So if you have a photograph on your resume, go ahead and remove it. The second thing to remove is personal information. No one needs to know your marital status. No one needs to know your age. No one needs to know your gender. No one needs to know whether or not you are a permanent resident, a citizen, or you're on a work permit. So remove all of those personal information from your resumes. As an applicant, if you are not having a work permit and you're not legally allowed to work in Canada but looking for a job, look specifically to those companies that offer sponsorship. But once you see a job posting and it says no sponsorship, or they're looking for candidates who only have the legal status to work in Canada, do not waste your time and do not waste the time of others by applying. Okay? So none of those personal information is necessary. It only takes up space on your resume. The third thing you should never or should not include on your resume is an unprofessional email address. So we don't want to see anything like hotboy21 or sexygirl22, nothing like that. If you have an email address and it's something like that which you can use among your family and personal friends, it's okay. But when you're applying for a job, create a professional email address. Sometimes when you go to create an email address, the name is already used. Consider maybe using your last name with first initial or your first name with initial. And if you have to put a number in it, that is fine. But ensure that it is professional. Do not put anything that causes a recruiter or someone working in talent acquisition to kind of think twice and say like, what's happening with this email address? So 3 things so far. As a reminder, I'm saying 4, can't count. 3 things as a reminder. Remove the photo, not necessary. Secondly, take away the personal information, age, marital status, gender, not needed. And the third thing is to ensure that you do not have an unprofessional email address. If there is one, create a new one and remove it. Now, number 4, the 4th thing that you're going to ensure is that you remove anything that says references available upon request, or if you have references already listed with their telephone numbers, email address, their contact information, remove it. It's unnecessary because it takes up space. Here's the reason for this. You can use that space to highlight other key things that are needed on your resume for a recruiter to look and say, hey, I really would want to talk to this person. So use the space wisely. Remove references, reference available upon request. Because if someone is interested in your profile and they reach out to you and you do go through the stage of doing an interview, then if you're gonna be offered the job and they want to speak with your references, they will definitely ask for this. Good. And number 5, remove anything that talks too much about your hobbies and interests. Normally, and I think I've done it before a long time ago in the past, but the world is evolving. It's not needed on the resume. It takes up space. So if you have a section that says hobbies and interests and you outline that you play sports, whatever it is, remove it. A section that you can use instead is volunteer activities. Within Canada, employers like to actually see interest in terms of volunteer activities. What are you doing in your community? Is there a committee at work that you volunteered on? What are you actually doing to help your community, whether where you live, the organization you work in? So that's something to put instead. But if you have hobbies and interests, do remove them. Now that you know the 5 things to remove from your resume, if they are on them, you're gonna go ahead and remove it. Then think about the things that you were not able to highlight, whether or not because you did not have enough space. It is recommended that you keep your resume between 1 to 2 pages. Never let it go 3 pages, 4 pages. Recruiters, applicant tracking systems, typically when resumes are being read, whether it's electronically through a system and keywords are being searched for, or it's just the natural eye of a recruiter looking on a resume, no more than 60 seconds is spent at times, or maybe even up to, I would say, less than 2 minutes. So ensure that you use the space on your resume to really showcase the skills that you have. Remember, it's a snapshot of you. You're advertising yourself and you want to grab the attention of recruiters, hiring managers, so that they can connect with you. The resume is the first step to getting you to speak with someone. The interview is the next, and we'll talk about that in another video. So if you find these tips helpful, Remember to subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and come back for the next video. And remember to leave your comments. Feedback is very important. Take care, share the video. Remember, your dreams are possible, and have a great day. Thank you.